Alright, this is my tutorial on how to convert between grams of a reactant to grams of a product. And before you ask, I'm wearing surgical gloves because of my thumbs. So, as the article stated previously, our task is to find out how many grams of silver chloride are made from 18.80 grams of hydrochloric acid, as well as find out how many grams of silver nitrate are used in the equation. So, in the article, they gave us the chemical equation HCl, which is hydrogen chloride, plus AgNO3, which is silver nitrate, yields to and not equals HNO3, which is nitric acid, plus AgCl, which is silver chloride. Before we start, we have to balance the chemical equation, but thankfully the chemical equation is already balanced, so we don't have to do that step. Now we have to do the mole ratio. The mole ratio is 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. Now that we have our mole ratio and balanced chemical equation, we need to write down the steps to convert between mass of the reactant to mass of the product. So first, we get the mass of the reactant, convert it to moles of the reactant. From there, we can convert it to moles of the product. And finally, we can convert the moles of the product to mass of the product. Okay, so our first step is to write down the mass of the reactant, which was 18.80 grams hydrogen chloride. We need to convert the given into moles. So our conversion factor is moles of hydrogen chloride over grams of hydrogen chloride. The combined mass of hydrogen and chlorine is 36 grams. 1 mole of hydrogen and chlorine, 36 grams. From here, we can convert this into moles of the product. So we have to go back and look at our chemical equation. Now that you've converted the mass of the reactant into moles, you can convert between moles of the reactant into moles of the product. Look back to the mole ratio of the chemical equation. The mole ratio between hydrochloric acid and silver chloride is 1 to 1. So, put 1 mole of silver chloride over 1 mole of hydrochloric acid. So, now we have the moles of the product, which we can now convert into mass of the product. Find the mass of silver chloride by looking at the periodic table and combining the mass of silver and chlorine, which is 143 grams. Once you have that mass, put it over 1 mole of silver chloride. So, 143 grams of silver chloride over 1 mole of silver chloride. Put this whole equation into the calculator. Basically, all you have to do is divide 18.80 grams by the combined mass of hydrochloric acid, then multiply the result by the combined mass of silver chloride, 143 grams. This will result in 74.7 grams of AgCl. But remember, this question also asks for the amount of silver nitrate used in this equation. To find the amount of grams of silver nitrate used in the equation, first take the mass of silver chloride produced from 18.80 grams of hydrogen chloride. That was 74.7 grams of AgCl. You have to convert this mass, which is the mass of a product, back to the mass of a reactant. So, put 1 mole of silver chloride over 143 grams of silver chloride. 1 mole of silver chloride over 143 grams of silver chloride. Once you have done this, look back at the chemical equation. The mole ratio between silver chloride and silver nitrate is 1 to 1. So put 1 mole of silver nitrate over 1 mole of silver chloride. Now that you have the moles of silver nitrate, you can convert to grams of silver nitrate. Take the combined mass of silver nitrate, which is 108 grams of silver, plus 14 grams of nitrogen, plus 16 grams of oxygen, which is multiplied by 3, meaning 48 grams of oxygen. That gives you a total of 170 grams of silver nitrate. Put 170 grams of silver nitrate over 1 mole of silver nitrate. Now that we have the whole equation written, we can put it into the calculator. Multiply 74.7 grams of silver chloride by 1 over 143, and multiply by 1, and finally multiply by 170 grams of silver nitrate, giving you 88.8 grams of silver nitrate.